Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Seasonal Hell Let Loose. It is a damn pleasure to have each and every one of you here. Tonight we have a cracker of a match. Tonight's match is going to be between those two teams, EG versus GBI. You know what, I could keep talking about it, but what I am going to do is introduce my co-caster. Look, I say this every week, but I am outranked by my co-caster again. Ladies and gentlemen, Derek from DC. Welcome, how are you, mate?
Hello, I'm doing good. What about you?
Yeah, you know what? Having a cracker of a night. Done a bit of casting today, but this is the first seasonal match. Obviously, seasonal, the biggest and best competition in the Hell Let Loose world. You, my friend, you're a DC member, if I'm not mistaken, and a DC comp player, I think.
Yeah, I am. I play artillery for DC, and I like to cast matches in my spare time as well.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we've seen you cast some cracking matches so far in this seasonal. So it is a damn pleasure to have you along. An artillery player. Is that wrong that automatically creates a bit of hate between us? As an infantryman, I feel like I've got a natural hate towards artillery players.
Yeah, I heard it a lot. Even my own infantry guys have a hate towards me.
Yeah, there's no such thing as friendly artillery, right?
No, just acceptable casualties, I call them every time.
Yeah, exactly. So you're one hell of a player. DC, they're doing pretty well, aren't they? As you'd expect from such a cracking team. When's their next match coming up? I think you're still waiting on who you're going to play next, right?
The next seasonal match? I think it's next week or the week after against either Refused or Infamous. One of the two.
But exciting. I can't wait to see you guys play again. I did, it was 4 a.m. for me, but I stayed up to watch that Circle DC match, and that was a banger of a match. Your lad's obviously coming away with a win. I love to watch it, and it was a goddamn pleasure to watch it. Were you playing in that match? I didn't see.
Against Circle, yeah, I was.
Nice. All right, we probably should talk about the teams that are playing today. Today's game is going to be GBI versus EG. That's an OCE team, GBI, versus I think the Eastern Europe team is EG.
Yeah, Russian team. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. We've seen this EG do some massive stuff through the European Community League, and look throughout competitive Hell Let Loose in general. Have you seen much of EG play at all?
I've seen some matches of them. I've seen them play in other tournaments as well. They've been looking pretty solid, I think, after the merger.
Ooh, a little bit of clan politics. That's all right. We don't let any of that ruin anything. It's pretty exciting. What I should do is bring up the old group sheet. I don't think it's been updated for this week. I don't know. Those of you that noticed, I may not have updated the intro video either. You win some, you lose some. That's all right. So today is the lower bracket final. The lower bracket final, normally this would be an elimination match. But because there was a little bit of drama that went on during the week, we did have a couple of teams that were disqualified. So it does mean that instead of being an elimination match, both of the teams that we're watching today are through to the seasonal finals. Genuinely exciting for GBI. This is their first seasonal. To be through the finals is huge. So this match is playing for seeding and where they'll get seeded in that tournament structure. What I should have done is put up the tournament structure for the finals as well. What I haven't done is exactly that. That's all right. We'll get onto it next week. We'll get there. It's pretty exciting. So I think, I don't know whether they know which teams they're going to be playing, whether they win or lose, but either way, we're going to see more Hell Let Loose from both of these sides. I'm excited. Derek, you've seen a couple of you've seen these teams play before. Do you have a prediction for this match? Who do you think is going to come away with the win?
Ooh, well, on paper, I would say EG will be a bit more experienced and stronger in comp matches. But GBI has been my personal favorite and personal biggest surprise team. So I don't know. I hope they can manage to entertain us, and I hope GBI can set up a good show again against a strong team from Europe.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's why we like watching this seasonal competition. Is you get to see those different styles of play from different regions of Hell Let Loose butting up against each other. It used to be like that Chinese style of that real battle line play coming up against the shotgun approaches of others. Look, everyone plays a little bit differently. Obviously, new rule set in this seasonal means artillery snipes used to be a massive part of the meta, but we're not seeing that anymore. And no Panthers.
Yep. No Panthers. I think everyone agrees on the no Panther rule. That's one of the strongest rules.
Yeah.
Artillery rule, I think. Yeah, I don't want to go too in depth with it because people already talked about it a lot, right?
Yeah,
But I think it's generally more accepted than when it first got implemented. I think people are starting to like it a bit more.
Yeah.
So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. You know what? I think it's probably about time we jumped into a little bit of pre-match, my friend. Let's have a look. It's I don't know about you, but I love watching I love watching a whole team satchel. Just trying to see what the team kill rules are, whether or not they're going to get booted for the server or not. We'll see. Let's jump into that. You don't have to look at our ugly faces anymore. Let's get into it. EG versus GBI in seasonal match. This is the lower bracket final. I haven't spawned in yet, so I probably should, get onto that, shouldn't I? Doesn't matter where.
I already see some flamethrower action in the HQs. Oh no.
You know what? I feel like the flamethrower really only gets a Guernsey and only gets a run in these pre-matches. I don't think I've caught a flamethrower kill yet.
Nah, it's a really situational. Oh wait, let me actually turn down my chat. It's a pretty situational tool or weapon, I would say. Like, there's not a lot of places you could use it effectively.
No,
but,
exactly.
If someone uses it, it's pretty fun to watch, at least.
Yeah, it looks delicious, and that's why I want to see more of it on these casts. Just because it looks delicious. That's all I want out of my life. Is it too much to ask for? We'll see. Hopefully we manage to catch it. On this main screen, it is important to remember whilst we're watching this match that the blueberries that you can see will be the EG side. So I'm on the EG side. When we switch over to Kinderek's camera, the blueberries will be the GBI side. So just keep that in mind as we're watching. I think the stream is going live just about now, so I will look forward to seeing your chat in about a minute. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure to have you along. Today's match is EG versus GBI, and I do have co-caster Kinderek from DC. I feel like that's a lineup that should make everybody that's ever watched competitive Hell Let Loose smile. Just quietly.
It
looks like EG.
I hope we'll have some fun here.
100% we will. Looks like EG are really liking this this little compound area. Does this have the Luftballon sign on it? I don't know whether this is one of the ones. It does not. There you go. A little Easter egg on some of the factories in Hell Let Loose. It has a 99 Luftballon sign. There you go. You learn something new every day. Unless they've removed it at the same time as they removed the gnomes.
The gnomes? What? There's gnomes in Hell Let Loose?
You serious? That was one of the latest patches. Is they removed a lot of the Easter eggs. So there used to be gnomes, there used to be worms, and there used to be, is it teddy bears? They deleted them all. They did.
I've never heard that before.
Have you not? There you go.
I know there's a crab on Quarantine, right? That's the only one I know.
The crab
because
with the
I watched your stream. I saw that on your stream once.
My stream is nothing if not informational. And I feel like that's half the reason people watch stuff, just because all of the dumb stuff that we managed to find, like the crab with the coin on Quarantine. There's also a goose-stepping chicken somewhere, I think, but I haven't managed to find that one yet. Easter eggs. But yeah, They removed them. Some are theorizing that the gnomes were responsible for the loadout bug. Turns out it wasn't true because the gnomes are gone, but the loadout bug is still with us.
If that was true, that would be so funny. Actually, the gnomes caused the loadout bug.
I know, right? But it turns out that the gnomes were responsible for efficiently reloading the Car 98. Because once they remove the gnomes, now you have to reload the Car 98 4 times before you get to shoot. There you go. But it's just
fixed that as well, no?
Oh, have they?
No. Yeah, I think so. With the last update, with update 15, I think. It will come at least.
That's genuinely important. That annoyed me. I like it. I like a good Car 98. There's something about it that makes me feel happy whenever I shoot it.
I think you're one of the only ones with that opinion.
I know. There's something. It's something that feels right. I feel like it's a bit of a pub match special though. When you hit somebody with a Car 98, it's satisfying. You know you've taken them down. It feels delicious. It feels like it's got the right range. But hey, I guess there's a reason I'm not playing in. I'm not a comp player at the moment. I do play a little bit of comp for OC, and I like to think I've acquitted myself very well. But I feel like this is where I should be, casting seasonal Hell Let Loose. There's nowhere else I'd rather be, just quietly. Panzer 4, just kind of cruising around. Gonna cop a rocket. Not gonna be effective. Looks like Knife is gonna live through that one. Kestnes is establishing dominance by sitting on the end of the turret, so well done to that lad. Ray T. Just chucking some smokes around, doing whatever the hell tankers do when they're not in a tank. Good lord. What are GBI up to, my friend? What are GBI doing for their pre-match?
We have some guys on mid-cap. Kurt is the only AG guy that is actually lurking around the mid-cap. Yeah, people are on mid-cap. We have some group chilling here with a medic. Shame on you for playing medic.
What?
He's trying to manage his friends, though. It's fine. He's doing
He's
good.
actually doing some medic work pre-match. That is absolutely unheard of. Oh, well, fuck it. You know what? As an actual paramedic in real life, I appreciate every time that we get to see a medic in Hell Let Loose, and I'm going to need you to point it out every time you see one, because I'm going to stick my camera to that person like glue. Medics. They're not in the current meta, but I'm going to point out, and I'm going to say that they are absolutely clutch to winning a Hell Let Loose match. Just saying.
Oof, it's a strong opinion. He's running the pistol loaded as well. Legendary.
Even better. We got a map roll almost on time. We should see this game start in about 50 seconds. We'll jump into the camera. We'll jump in and watch this game of Hell Let Loose. EG versus GBI. It's in the lower bracket final of seasonal Hell Let Loose. I'm not going to lie. As soon as they assigned this one, I was excited. I've been excited all week. I cannot wait. Welcome everybody else that's joining us in chat. It is a goddamn pleasure to have each and every one of you. Anybody that's ever hung out in chat is confirmed a better human being than everybody else on the planet. It's true. That's just fact. And you can use that in your Tinder profile next time you put it up, and I can guarantee you more matches. I've hung out in the Trauma Stew live stream. Just watch the matches roll in. That might not be an actual fact. It's all right. 12 seconds and we're going to get this match underway. Good luck to both of these teams.
Let's go.
I still don't think I'd predict the result out of this one. It's anybody's match. HILL400 is the map, of course. We're going to get in there and see exactly what's going on. I believe you're joining Land Cruising Squad.
Yep.
And you'd think I'd remember what was the name of the squad I was joining. Hopefully he puts up an arty mark so I don't have to look through all of the squads. As soon as you found him, let me know so I can switch over to your screen whilst I faff around and try and find the human I'm joining.
Blind, I can't find him.
Might be a little late joining.
I found him.
Excellent. So let's switch over. My guy's a little late getting in, so we'll go have a look at your camera. You'll be able to look over what the start of this map's going to look like.
Ooh. So we have Flag Pits as midpoint with Eastern Slope and Bergstein. So this map setup is pretty interesting because you see fighting over Flag Pits, but fighting over hill is also really important here because whoever controls the hill controls Flag Pits, I would say.
Yeah, 100%.
And then next to the next points.
That Flak Pit fight, I swear, anybody that's ever played a game of Hell Let Loose on this map has had one of those fights over Flak Pits that is just a meat grinder, isn't it? Whew.
Yeah, usually when I watch Flag Pits, the team that exits the trucks mostly on the north wins the point. So or on the hill, sorry, not on the north. So the higher you are, fighting downwards is easier than upwards. So I see that. I see that GBI has some AT gun guys running with a supply.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, hello.
Getting a little bit of an early tank snipe in potentially. A little bit of an early AT snipe in.
I think this is the snipe on the E6 road. So even if it's Flag Pits, they're still going for this snipe.
Nice. All right, I found my guy. I'll get in. We'll watch a little bit of pre-match warm up. Let me get my camera going. Still watching Kinderic. Have a look at that. That's nice and early with that tank snipe. Delicious.
Let's see if it works. That would be crazy.
I'm going to expect you to be all over that, my friend. We are back in. Let me just point out that the commander for EG is going to be Magnet today. That is Magnet. Who's going to be the commander for this GBI side?
Mr. Prawn Hub will be the commander for GBI.
I'll expect to see a couple of Prawn Hub specials in this match. He's been doing really well in the seasonal competition, commanding the GBI lads, and he's one hell of a dude as well. What we might do is I'm going to switch back over to my screen now that we have it up and running. Let's have a look at the maps. It's going to be Convoy Ambush is going to be the EG defensive point. Bergstein Church in the middle. Flak Pits is going to be the central point, as was pointed out before. Eastern Slope in the middle. And Zirkle is going to be the furthest defensive point for GBI. Good luck to both of these teams. Match warm-up only has 5 seconds left. Let's get in and see what Barker's doing. I'm assuming he's in a truck, and we're going to watch them get all the way up in. That is 2 very full trucks moving straight up the middle for EG. Look, obviously, we were talking about this before, Kinderek, but we know there are so few approaches into HILL400 that trying to spread out and trying to find a different approach can be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like they're just pinging up there. 2 trucks are still alive. Let's get over the middle point as soon as we can and see what it's going to be looking like for both of these sides moving in. Good luck to GBI. Good luck to EG. It is a pleasure to be watching you lads. Flak Pits is over the middle there. Has that AT managed to find any targets yet?
Well, it's coming up. He's timing it. He's waiting. So if you want to switch to my screen now, you can maybe see one of the trucks get blown up. Because the snipe will land exactly right here in between these 2 bunker walls. And you see 1 Greyhound and a supply truck rolling up this road. So I hope they timed it well. Oh, you see the shell there? It's a bit too high, I think.
Maybe they need to adjust just a little bit. Interesting. Tank. Oh, it looks like they're going to get through.
Yeah, they are going to get through. Damn. Still a good try, though, from the GBI guys.
Yeah, I love a good snipe to start the match off. Let's get back to the main casting screen because it looks like EG have some early dominance over Flak Pits. GBI trying to push in towards the left of your screen there. They are establishing a little bit of, they are putting a little bit of force up the hill towards the top of your screen there. But EG look like they are very dominant over the point at the moment. Flak Pits is the middle point, as we called it out. Looks like GBI have their lucky little Lukes in there. It is on fire. It did take a shot from, looks like Zayu is the AT sitting up towards the top. Second rocket's not going to be effective. That lucky little Lukes is going to keep fighting, but it looks like GBI have been taken mostly down by this EG side. GBI, EG, I'm going to get that confused about 1 billion times throughout this cast. So you'll have to bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing we can do about it. EG, early dominance onto Flak Pits. I think that's kind of what we were expecting a little bit, wasn't it, Kinderek?
Yeah, they've been doing great. Like, they're right on the mid-cap.
Yeah.
They're also looking to win on the hill itself. So EG is looking very strong in this opener now. Lux is running away. He decides, no infantry, I'm out of here.
Yeah. No infantry, no support. It's going to cop another rocket. That is a lot of flames coming out of that lucky little Luke's. That rocket's going to be ineffective. The Luke's still trying to get out of there. Surely it doesn't have much life left in it. It's stuck up against the tree. No more driving for that. You know they're panicking in that tank crew, don't you? EG look like they're about 2/3 capped now. They are looking very strong and dominant over the start of this match. GBI have put a lot of forces up the hill, exactly as you called it, Kinderek. Both teams are recognizing that this area towards the top of the hill, sort of towards the middle of your screen at the moment, where we're seeing the 2
There goes the Lux.
No more Lux for this GBI side, so well played to this EG side.
And now the Panzer IV, he rocked up a bit too much, I think. Yeah, starts to reverse again. Recognizes that there's an AT player with a rocket next to him that just took out the Lux. Oh, and he blasts him right in the face. Hell yeah.
Good lord.
He should be fine.
That Panzer IV, trying to assert a little bit of dominance. I think EG, nice early cap on that point. GBI have all the work to do. They are putting a lot of their lads up on the flanks. So we were just having a look at the red berries that are moving up towards the top of the hill, really coming across some stiff resistance of being put forward by this EG side. Down the hill though.
At the moment,
yep.
There's a little Greyhound in Eastern Slope for EG, just standing there. That's causing some problems with the cap power. So there needs to be an AT guy coming here soon. I still see no rockets coming. So he will have free reign over the point for a bit.
He will too. And especially when you see that Greyhound as an AT player, doesn't it just make your eyes light up? You just go, 1 rocket, let's go. But GBI
yeah, it's cardboard.
GBI is still struggling to deal with that. Looks like they're still trying to push down the bottom of the hill right now, but too many of them are dying. EG really dominant over the point. GBI trying a more central approach to this push onto the point now. Tip of the spear is going to be PS3 Wireless. T-Max, Dankus is pushing in there. Lamagra, friend of the stream for those playing the drinking game at home. The Flying Doge, one hell of a good dude. Purpith and Cactus are the GBI attack there. They're going to come up against lads like the Sad Demon, the A-Team, Pivno Pivo, Lulu, just going down. Biam's going to be the squad lead that's sitting in there, but this has been a strong start from EG. They are starting to put pressure on Eastern Slope as well. GBI have a lot of work to do. Let's I'm going to get you to swing around the flak pits area if you can, Mr. Kinderick. I'll deal with the Eastern Slope because it looks like this is where the bulk of the fight's going to be. If you find anything juicy, please feel free to let us know. Goddamn, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, there is some actual Hell Let Loose royalty sitting in chat at the moment. Have a look at that. Quicknix, Das Alberg, you guys are goddamn legends. Thank you for joining us. It is a pleasure to have you along. Today's match, EG versus GBI. EG with the nice early cap onto flak pits. And EG, they're looking very strong. That battle line is pushing nice and deep, and GBI just struggling to deal with it at the moment. Woof.
Yeah, just an update. I think the Panzer IV already died. I don't know if you caught that on your camera, but I don't see it anymore. So I think the medium from EG won the fight against the Panzer IV. So now they're trying to start to push out a bit towards the Eastern Slope, but GBI is still heavily towards flag pits.
Yeah, I feel like this has been very aggressive from EG, and it's paying off for them. Sometimes when you see these teams be super aggressive like this, it means that they're starting to lack something defensively. But EG just playing that battle line exactly as it should, sort of in that current meta that we're seeing in a lot of Hell Let Loose games at the moment, is establish battle line, make sure you've got all your angles covered, and then push and find those pressure points to push. And that's exactly what they're doing. GBI just struggling to deal with it. Lots more spawns coming for EG. We're going to swing over back towards Eastern Slope now and just see, it looks like from this EG side, we're seeing a nice, slow, methodic approach. And especially in these forested maps, you kind of have to. Because if you push up too fast, you just tend to find you run into too many enemy sitting in bushes, sitting behind trees, not where you're expecting it. Rockets going in is going to be ineffective from this GBI side. Have a look at this assault from this EG team. It's going to be Larua Knife, Germanex, Numazon, Pivno Pivo, Prodraz is going to go down to JP Sauer, just down the bottom right of your screen. Pivno going down as well. Orbitex and Kafer in his support. Grink from GBI is moving up there. Lycaon, friend of the screen. He's not in a tank! Lycaon, you're a tanker! What are you doing as infantry? I swear, my friend. Bonnie is going to be the furthest forward, just towards the top of your screen, pushing on the side of this EG flank. So I feel like GBI, they're starting to get a handle on this EG push, but EG, they are everywhere. King Derek, if you're this GBI side at the moment, you'd be worried, wouldn't you? That EG just seem to have the upper hand.
Well, yeah, I would kind of be worried because like there's the middle road between the HILL400 itself and Eastern Slope is kind of the front line now, and crossing that road with MGs that's firing down on you from the hill is really, really difficult. Also, on HILL400, you always need to constantly watch your back for little sneaky squad leads with OPs. So they have a lot they need to pay their attention to, while actually also attacking the midpoint still.
Dude, 100%. What I might do is, can you bring up your map? Let's just compare what both of these maps for both of these teams is going to look like. So I'll start with the EG, exactly as you'd expect from such a well-drilled comp side. Have a look at that blue zone, Gary. That is exactly the Gary that's going to cause GBI a lot of issues. That is very far forward. Eastern Slope, obviously being a point that is very close to the edge of the GBI red zone. EG, have a look at that battle line. Nice and deep. They do have their defensive Garys up, and they do have one just around the side. I really like this southern Gary. I think they're going to get a lot of good use out of that, and GBI are going to have to deal with it. Can I get you to take us through exactly what GBI are working with, my friend?
Well, GBI established a nice line. As you said, they're trying to get back on the hill from all sides, it seems. We have one squad leader here. There's some flares coming up so they can see where they are. There's also one squad lead actually on the hill itself now, Gandalf. So if he gets an OP up there and there's some guys there. Oh, he actually places a redstone garrison that's open right on the hill. Ooh, I don't know if that will take a spawn wave. It will be quite interesting if it takes a spawn wave.
That could be clutch. What I might get you to do, swing your camera over that side, mate, and have a look at the fight that's going to be going on up at the top of that hill. I'm going to stick around this eastern slope point and just make sure that our GBI lads manage to defend against this absolutely brutal amount of pressure from this EG side. This is exactly what we want to see from competitive Hell Let Loose. I'm loving watching every little bit of this. Whew. EG look like they've got the advantage after a nice early cap. We are 17 minutes left to go in this match, so still a lot of Hell Let Loose to go. GBI just trying to get back and consolidate, trying to figure out where they're going to put a little bit of pressure onto this EG side. EG absolutely not letting them rest up at all, not giving an inch of ground. GBI trying to push up. Soups No Rules, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Murray Mofo, Tozzy, Proceeds of Crime, Wireless, Venus, and Venus is in the comp side. We love a little bit of Venus around here. She's lovely. And Go-Go number 5. They're going to be the GBI push onto the right-hand side. Pedro, Bear, the Flying Doge, and Gusket moving up through the middle.
Well, GBI got a spawn wave off on that garrison. There's 2 squad leads running down the hill now. Dankless and Grink, they're trying to find a good space for their OP, I think.
Yep.
So soon, garrison is also marked by the commander now, so they know where it is. So if Dankless can get an OP with a rocket guy on there, this garrison might be on the threat for EG.
I feel like this is a dangerous time for GB. So what I've done, I'm swinging over this eastern slope point. Have a look at those blueberries that are sitting up the hill. That is the EG side that is making some damn good strides down that hill.
And Dank is on the garrison. He's taking it down manually. He got it.
Dank is taking down the garrison.
Takes down German as well. EG is just... They're not looking at the garrison. Oh, they're all getting picked off. Dank is... Oh, that must be friendly, Artie.
Dankus did his work before. We think he got team killed by his own Artie. Land Cruising is the man on Artie for this GBI side. But that's all right. I feel like, Kinder, if you're not team killing when you're on Artie, are you even playing artillery? I swear.
No.
You're supposed to. Yeah, you have to. There is no avoiding it. It's like a satchel. If you put down a satchel and you don't team kill at least 5 people, I'm going to question whether it was an effective satchel or not. I'll tell you what. Let's swing back to the main casting screen because GBI is starting to make some good strides down the hill off the back of that garrison that was put up there. EG are in behind them, and EG look like they are starting to come to grips with the top of this hill. Starting to get a few kills in there and starting to take back some of this sector control. GBI, they have a limited amount of time before that wall closes in behind them. They've got a choice. Do they keep pushing from here and hope that they can leave a couple of lads back to defend their rear? Or do they keep pushing? Do they come back and try and deal with it? Lots of those GBI lads dying in the middle of your screen right there. That was well played from this EG side. Still anybody's game, but I feel like EG still have the upper hand. GBI, they're not looking to sit back. They are trying to probe every little angle they can. So I'm going to say well played to each and every one of these guys. They're doing hella well. Woo.
It's like a bit of waves coming out of the hill now, right? First you have GBI on that garrison, EG knows they're there, and they send that defense wave to clean them up from behind again.
Yep.
And now they're being squeezed out again from the hill. There's still 2 OPs on the hill for the GBI, so they're still fine. But
yeah,
as we said in the beginning, whoever controls the hill controls the game.
100%. I think both teams have recognized that. What I really liked about this EG response is that they did exactly that. They realized the best place to push out that GBI assault from the hill was put those spawn those GBI those. Oh, Gandalf the White's going to miss. He's going to pre-fire. Ineffective. Gandalf the White's going to be taken down. Names on. That's going to be the end of his push around the back there. Hopefully that Nubazon lad manages to take down his OP if he had one back there. Let's get back to the main fight now that one's done. And there we are, back over Eastern Slope. Look, we haven't seen too much aggression from this EG side onto Eastern Slope. Part of that'll be because they're trying to deal with this GBI flank that's coming down from the hill. So I'm wondering, now that they know that they've got that cleaned up, I'm wondering if they start pushing down now and start putting a little bit more pressure on this GBI defensive point. Because GBI, I feel like they've been fairly bogged down across the map. They are committing a lot of troops down towards this sort of bottom end and this northern side of the hill. And the northern side of Flak Pits. Yep, that's right. I don't know my compass, and I did have to turn it around to see Never Eat Soggy Wheat Bix is the acronym. But look, GBI, they're starting to push out a little bit, but EG look like they do have their number in terms of gunfights. Murray Mofo, Squishy Boo, Soups No Rules, and Tozzy are moving out that way. 30 Geo, can't say that guy's name, and 2 Dorker. Anio, Lucky Ann, Andreeve, and Max are going to be the EG lads pushing out from there. Hell of a match. We are seeing a bit of a GBI battle line forming to push onto Flak Pits and try and deal with this EG defense. But I feel like EG probably just have their number at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more of a push. But that said, GBI, they are pushing nice and deep up towards the top of the hill. I hate this map purely because of this, because we do hit the top of the skybox, and this is as high and as far above the hill as we can get. Gandalf the White, obviously he's been set to some sort of probing offensive squad because he is pushing out and starting to just get around, see whether he can get some of those red zone Garys in, see whether he can get an OP down. Good luck to him. He seems to be the tip of the spear there for this GBI side. Whew. I'll tell you what, Das Altberg didn't know that you had a face, my friend. We've just seen that in chat. Confirmed. Derek, not a bot.
I do have a face. Yes, I'm not an AI.
Confirmed. I know. Look, I'm 50-50 whether or not that was some sort of deep fake that we saw before, but look, he assures me it isn't. He assures me it isn't. He hasn't got some weird dodgy shit going on. GBI really starting to gain ground around this bottom thing. I love what they're doing here. Using the edge of the map to mean that EG can't get around them. They are starting to really gain some ground here. Well done. This is exactly what we needed to see from them. EG, I'd like to see them spawn a few more back to try and deal with this, but it looks like GBI might be turning back a little bit early back into Flak Pits. They do have a lot of these EG lads up on their right, as why Squishy Boo is going to stay alive as the machine gunner. I haven't used it yet because I haven't seen him on screen, but we do have a point of view. This is our man Euphoric. The problem is, for the last 2 matches, I've had his point of view, but all he's doing is sitting rear sort of machine gun and playing a little bit defensively. So I feel like it's not the most exciting play that we've seen from Euphoric, but if we see him get into the thick of it, we do have this option to click back over there and have a look at him as we get back into the main screen. That right push was exactly what I said. Looks like EG have mainly come to terms with it. What do you got?
I think we might have our first heavy fight going on soon. 76 just rolled up on this hill, and I think it has an eye on the Tiger. Oh, yeah, that's a 3. That's a problem. That is quite heavily on this map. Oh, he's getting MG'd by the Tiger now, I think. I'm not sure if that hits him. Oh, well, I think the Tiger died. He got satcheled, probably.
Confirmed. That is a dead Tiger. I didn't see why it went down. I'm not seeing anybody else around it. So we did. That was a little bit of a miss from that. But 76 winning that fight out over the Tiger. GBI are going to have slightly less armor to be able to deal with that. We're seeing a lot of GBI death at the moment. EG look like they have a definitive advantage over most of the map at the moment. GBI just trying to probe, just trying to find a way in. We know that they have the ability to win matches. We know that they can deal with this EG side. But EG showing that they are one hell of a hell let loose team. Are you having fun so
EG
far?
Very strong drill. Yeah. For as far as HILL400 can go, it's a pretty static map, right? People don't move a lot. People sit behind trees. It's a very well drilled map, and I think EG is pretty good at it, like forming a battle line. Because there's no point of interest, let's say, like SM&DM, where you need to hold, let's say, gardens or cattle sheds. It's basically just form a line, and wherever you create a gap in the line, that's your weakness. There's no real field or anything you can just leave. And I think EG has been doing that pretty well this game. Their boys are everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like that battle line and that sector control we're seeing around Flak Pits is great. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, let's move in there. Yeah, they've basically realized that they have no real threat onto, well, I'll tell you, as I say that, Dankus Pan, Herpy are the GBI lads. They have got him behind. Dankus is going to go down. That is the commentator's curse, ladies and gentlemen. As soon as I say somebody's name, there is a greater than 50% chance that they're going to get brutally murdered. GBI really getting in behind, and they could be able to take advantage of the fact that EG do not have anybody on the strong point. They don't look like most of their defensive squads are out and about and are providing that sector control. So, look, Dankus going down as the squad lead will hurt this GBI assault, but EG looks like Goblier and Litvin are moving back into Flak Pits just to try and bolster that support. We'll keep an eye on that, but I will get back over to this Eastern Slope point because it does feel like EG, they are starting to you know what? Maybe they're just playing defensively. Maybe they're happy to hold that hill area and not push on until they've got a decent flank secured from one of their big flanking squads. But hey, interesting to see. Mr. Kinderek, if you're GBI, if you're playing in this GBI side, what do you think you do to try and take this? Are they going about this the right way, or is there something you
exactly
think
what they're doing right now here? They build another red zone garrison with at least 4 squad leads coming down from it. It's pretty close to the point as well. It's it's turned red now, but that got one spawn wave up with all squad leads. So if they get the OP up, I think you can backdoor flag pits pretty easily because EG really needs to watch their back now. There's a lot of guys running around here. Oh, there comes the defense spawn wave. Pen actually found it. Is it an OP? No, it's a garrison. So Pen goes down, but they know where the garrison is now.
That could be absolutely clutch. Just having that little bit of information could help them no end. Armor. We're just not seeing the effect of armor on this map, I don't think. And that's something that we know that GBI are very strong at. We have seen their Tiger go down to the 76, as we saw it just before. But obviously with HILL400, they don't have that that advantage that they've had over, say, that map against the Circle on Foy last week. We saw their armor absolutely dominate and control the map. And we're not seeing that like we did last week. Good Lord, everybody in chat be good to each other. I love each and every one of you. If you're hanging out here, you're probably just a better human being than everyone else on the planet. I'm just going to scooch back around here because have a look at this. We do have Valde is sitting in behind, and Venom looks like he got a shot off on something. I didn't see what that was. We're going to have to wait for
that's
smoke
a bombing run coming in for GBI on the garrison, I think.
Yep, now that they've established where that is. Bombing run going in over flak pits. Not going to clean up any of their friendlies. Blue V's going to move in off the back of that. GBI, very good push into flak pits. This is huge. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Kektis is towards the bottom of your screen. Bingus and Lycaon to the right. Richie's up the top. Blue V and Lycaon, why aren't you guys in tanks? They're one of GBI's premier tank squad. Perhaps they're just running out of fuel or just realizing that they need more infantry than tanks. Good Lord.
Yeah, HILL400 is not really a tank map, so I think every infantry is better than a tank, because tanks are basically like bunkers where you can get 3 guys maybe in the point.
Yeah.
But other than that, especially on flag pits, there's not really much you can do with a tank here. Seeing that though, GBI has like forced a circle around the circle.
Yeah.
They are basically inside the hard cap.
This has been an absolutely massive play from this GBI side. EG, not panicking yet. We're not seeing those big redeploys back. Lots of gunfights happening. Lamagra is going to be the last one left alive for GBI on the bottom. He's going to come up against Gobbler, Magnet, and Max the Brute on the left-hand side of your screen. Mags, you got a lot of work and a lot of killing to do. GBI were starting to cap that point a little bit, but it is going back. And Kinderek, I think that's exactly right how you called it. When you were saying before that HILL400 doesn't have that many strong points and that many points of interest to hold on to. So having that tank can create that in HILL400 where you wouldn't normally have it. That said, trying to shoot infantry through trees as a tanker can be borderline impossible. I know this map is what convinced me that I never want to be a tanker. Just saying.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of tankers cry when the map drafter picked out HILL400 many times. It's not a favorite for the tank players, understandably.
No, 100%. EG showing a lot of composure. After that cap was a little bit capped from this GBI side, they are getting back to deal with that. Bark and Luria are up the hill, and they're going to push back down onto this GBI flank. Luria going down. Bark is going to be the last one left alive there, but he is going to have Orbitex, Boy DXX in support. Capital just spawning in as the squad lead up towards the top right of your screen. Max the Brew is sitting there. Going to take down Blue V. Blue V, you got to get back into a tank, mate. Turns out infantry is not your role. EG pushing back in, and that's exactly what we wanted to see was get back and try and defend this one. I'm going to switch back over. Let's have a look at how Eastern Slope's doing. I think that GBI is still in a lot of trouble down here. Now we're looking at lol, and Hassan sitting down the bottom. Prawnhub, the commander's down the bottom right of your screen. Biam for EG's up to the top right, and the Magra's up there as well. There aren't that many lads on this GBI defensive point. I'd be a little worried. EG, it's obviously easy for us to say. With admin cam, we can literally see everything on the map. We can see everybody. So we could see that all EG needs to do is make a bit of a run down the hill and they could probably take that point from GBI. But they won't know that. All they can see right now is trees. That's all they can see.
Yep. Welcome to HILL400.
Right?
Yeah,
Cool.
I don't know what will happen in the last seasonal matches, but last seasonal, basically every game was played on HILL400 since it's such a balanced map between allies and axis, right? I hope with the balance changes of artillery and tanks and not needing to rocket snipe anymore, that will change. Because watching HILL400 every game gets a bit after a while.
Yeah, dude. I feel you. Well, this is the first one that I've done. It's the first match on HILL400 that I've cast this seasonal. But it's not the first that GBI has played. GBI taking the win over the Spanish team 501 ES a few weeks ago now. But I think that was really the match that established them as a team to watch in this seasonal, which is really good. Artillery going to work on Eastern Slope. GBI have got a bit of a spawn wave. They're all spreading out, just trying to see whether they can deal with this EG flank. EG still have a strong presence up the top. I think that might have been most of this GBI team cleared off flak pits. We do have a couple around the bottom. The Moe is going to do a little bit of murder there. Proceeds of crime going down. Moe, of course, as soon as I say his name, gets brutally murdered. Looks like Sheriff or Magnet probably killed him then. So that's going to be the end of that push from GBI. They're going to have to reset, and they're going to have to figure out how in God's name they're going to be able to push out this EG side, because EG still looking very, very strong. Red Dragon from GBI up on the left there. Can I just say, I want to give a quick shout out to Red Dragon and Red Dragon Jr. Apparently they're having a bit of a tough time at the moment. So this cast goes out to you guys. It is a goddamn pleasure to see you playing Red. Hope the little one's all right. Look after yourselves. And best of luck through the rest of this game, my friend. Dankus is pushing up. Lycaon's in support. Bear, the man, the myth, the legend himself is there. XYU is doing a lot of work there. A-Team is from EG is going to get brutally murdered by artillery. Boy DX, Vice Cop, Mac the Dad, and Mac B Thad. That's not a real name. Macbeth Ad. I can't say English. Words are hard. Don't judge me. You're not my real dad. Knife pushing in as well. Pass and EG really starting to put some pressure on Eastern Slope now.
Yeah, especially with the 76 right on their doorstep, basically. Oh, he's taking a rocket in the
One
side now.
rocket went into it there. That's the 76 we're looking at. One rocket going in. It's not going to be enough to take down the 76. There are flames coming out of it. Rocket number 2 is going to hit it. Still going to sit up and be looking over the point. This is huge. GBI really need to be able to deal with this. Artillery's going to miss. Probably a little off target. Probably just, I think the 76 just spotted the artillery there, so it's going to keep moving down the road to try and avoid that. It's going to take a few more rockets.
There's a second 76 coming as well on the road behind him now. This is potentially really dangerous for GBI if those 76s just roll into the point.
Yeah, 100% it is. Having those two massive platforms pushing up, GBI have to deal with it. And without any of their tanks on the field, it's going to be problematic. Another rocket going into the 76. It's still good. It's a 76. It's going to brush it off and it's going to keep driving. One more rocket due. Artillery is still going to miss down to behind. GBI were starting to cap on flak pits then. It looks like EG have got the measure of that and they're going to start capping it back. Well done to them. Whew. I think EG do have the upper hand, but I still would not call this match. It is still everyone's match. In terms of predictions, we do have a prediction up. I'm just going to flick over and have a look at that. Looks like GBI, the viewers are backing GBI for this. It looks like 26,000 channel points versus EG's 19,000 channel points. That is way too many channel points on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy. Gambling's bad for you, I think, but I'm pretty sure you're allowed to gamble channel points. So we're good. Let's go. EG, have a look at this pressure they're putting on. Have a look at that pressure coming from the north, Kind. It's insane. The north and just that standard pressure they've had coming down the hill the whole time. I think GBI are in a lot of trouble on this point.
Yeah, EG is wrapping them up. They're playing it perfectly with their front line. They just, as we said, Flagpit is contested for a bit. I think this has no AG guys in there. But they're like making a bit of a corner on the map, right? Towards the eastern slope. And they're forcing the GBI guys to really the edge of the map. Yep. So GBI is starting to get surrounded a bit. They also, EG has an OP spawning behind them, I think. There's two guys with satchels and rockets probably spawning on there. And it's threatening this tank now. There's one Tiger here. But there's two AT guys coming. Tank might be watching though. Oh,
did he get back into the tank? The Tiger looks like it's going to make a move now. doesn't look like he's not pointing his turret at it. You got to not run into that tree. Nope, that's a tree you can go through. We're good. That tiger's just going to try and get out of the area. It is on fire. Flames are not supposed to come from tanks. I don't know whether you know that, Kinderek.
Well, that's one rocket in, one more and the engine is out. Ooh. Prawn Hub Commander defends the tank here.
Prawn Harbor Commander that's obviously not too upset to get his hands dirty. That tiger could be crucial. I wonder if there's a satchel coming up. Looks like the tank is going to get out and repair. Keep me abreast of what's happening there. If anything eventuates, please do let me know. We're going to get back to the main casting screen because EG, that push from the north is really starting to pay dividends for them. They are very, very close to Eastern Slope now. The tip of the spear is going to be Divno, lol. And with Knife in support there, Bingus is just going to sit nice and deep and be a bit of a bush Wookie. Bonnie going down to one of the lads there. Dingus, he's been pinged out, so they are aware that he's there. Artillery doing a lot of work for this EG side. GBI, I can't see them pulling this one back. I think EG probably have their number here. Tozzy and Murray Mofo, bombing run going in is going to clean up most of that defense. And we're starting to see EG cap this next point. Eastern Slope starting to be capped by this brutal EG side. It's contested. I've got to stop. I've got to learn to stop calling these points backwards and forwards so much. Because if I keep saying contested, defending, contested, that's all you guys will hear all cast. Good Lord. I love each and every one of you guys. You're all amazing. Anybody that's ever followed here is statistically 72% better looking than the rest of the internet. That's facts. That is absolutely
there's another
facts.
rocket guy coming. He got already one rocket in. Reloading. Oh, okay. Guess the cursed. Who was that? Prawn Hub again?
Was it Prawn
I
Hub
think
again?
so.
Or did
Yeah,
he
probably.
redeploy?
Nah, he only
Prawn
shot
Hub.
one rocket.
There you go.
So I think he got headshotted by the commander.
So that tank
But this-
is alive still somehow.
Yeah, you can see how Axis is struggling to get their tanks up the hill. They're constantly being ambushed. I think the commander has been out of the tank more than in the tank the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
correct. Yeah, this EG side really getting a handle on this GBI armor. It's like I think as you called it before, it's a tank. HILL400's a tanker's worst nightmare. There's infantry behind every tree, behind every bush that you drive past. You know that there's a satchel. You know that there's another AT player with rockets. EG still putting a lot of pressure on this Eastern Slope point. I think we're going to start seeing this cap go towards EG. It's contested. This is a good amount of pressure. GBI really have to dig in to try and defend this one. Or coincidentally, they need to put pressure on the next point, but I think it's a bit late for that because there is a strong cap coming onto this one for EG. Well done to each of these lads. They're playing a great brand of Hell Let Loose. GBI, big spawn waves coming in. Those spawn waves will be crucial if they can get into the strong point and try and defend this one. That said, the EG Artie has been doing an absolute number on them. Whew. Euphoric, there we go. That's the Euphoric lad. He is going to MG, just being a little bit of a bush Wookie, being a little bit of a defensive MG player, sitting on the strong point himself. Can't see, it doesn't look like he's got any hits with that, but that said, using an MG like this, not only does it provide suppression, it's a hell of a good sniping tool to hit people from a distance, but it also allows you to just sort of let the enemy know that they're being watched, you know? So Euphoric, good luck to you. We're not seeing too much out of the old defensive machine gun. I want to see him back on the... Yep, what do you got?
The next challenger approaches for the Tiger. This time this commander spots him, takes down the satchel guy. But you can see he's sliding off the hill. He's having a really hard time getting up here.
Look, I feel sorry for him. As somebody
Oh,
who...
you say that. There's a Panzer 4 here now. But that only needs 2 rockets in the ass. Second rocket. Oh, Evanum takes the kill.
No good with that Panzer 4. That's going to be somewhat less armor that GBI has to deal with. Let's get back to the main screen because EG. Yep, what do you got?
Sedamon just hit a really nice rocket in the ass of the Tiger. Does he have one more in the chamber? Can he do it? I don't think so.
Oh, I think that's enough. Let's get back to the main point because EG, they did have a good amount of pressure onto Eastern Slope, but it looks like that's mainly been dealt with from this GBI side, so well done to them. Can I get you to have a look at any sort of attack that GBI have onto flak pits at the moment?
I can certainly do that.
And we'll see what they're working on.
As we say that, there's a little airhead coming down for GBI.
Oh.
We'll
Is
be
it going to
landing
be?
on the hill.
Is it going to be a protected airhead? Have they got infantry to try and deal with that? Because I feel like EG are a well drilled side. Surely they see that one come in.
Yeah, Bach is already coming here. You see the airhead landing here. I don't know if they already got it called out in command yet. He's running away from now. But I think this needs some artillery love or a bombing run. Oh, he steps in the mine? No way, there's a mine there. This is trading
No
one.
way. So is that
This
airhead still up?
mine. It's coming down now, and I don't see any EG guys. There's just a bombing run coming to protect it. Is it going over the garrison as well?
No, surely not. I'm gonna keep an eye on the map and have a look at what this Flak Pits garrison. If that bombing run's done, the Flak Pits garrison for EG is still up. Can I get you to pull up your map?
Okay.
Let's have a look at the map compare and let's just see what's going to happen off the back of this one. Flak Pits is being defended. EG well pushed out to the north. They do have an attacking Gary out towards the southeast of Eastern Slope. How are GBI looking, my friend?
Well, GBI just got one spawn wave off on the garrison. There's 3 guys there, or on the airhead, sorry. Well, if this draws enough attention from EG to redeploy on this area, they can start to push over the road, hopefully, onto the hill. And that will help them a lot attacking Flak Pits. For now, the air is clean, actually, so it might get even more spawn waves off.
No way. Is this one of those moments that you can hear in squad chat, in command chat, where they're saying, redeploy, fuck defensive, let's go, every man for himself, get on the point. Dankus Perith. There was another big spawn wave coming off that airhead. Looks like EG are mainly across it, but GBI pushing very deep into Flak Pits.
I don't think they know yet.
How do they not? Surely. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big GBI push into Flak Pits now. Lucky One and HYWS are going to be the last of this EG defense. We've seen GBI starting to cap Flak Pits. This could be huge if they can establish some sort of presence there with probably just off OPs. We've got Kektis, the squad lead, with Grink, the other squad lead in behind. Bonnie getting a little bit of murder done there. EG have just the one lad left on Flak Pits. This could be massive. They are defending it, and it's being capped now by GBI. Artillery going down there is going to be the last of anybody who was there. Potentially might have been a cheeky little... it does look like that garrison on Flak Pits for EG has gone down to this GBI side. 3 of the GBI boys left. Big spawn wave we've just seen coming
big spawn wave
from up the hill. They're going to keep moving down and they're going to keep protecting what they've got up there. It's going to be Lucky One. Lucky One will have to be a Lucky One because it's 2v1 on the point there. Dankus is a good shooter. Perpy.th moving up there. Gobbler's probably going to be a little too far behind. Pivno Pivo is going to be the sniper. That could be clutch getting those 2 lads in there. They're going to butt up against each other. Perpy's going to take down Lucky One before he gets brutally murdered. Looks like Dankus. Did Dankus just team kill him or was that Gobbler?
Oh, I have a knife. He's knifing him.
No!
Come on. Just knife him.
It's a knife fight! Got him!
He wins it.
That was huge. The GBI lad coming away with a knife fight. I'm glad that they both stuck to the knife fights. Glad we got over there. Well spotted, Kinderic. And that's why I've got you as a co-caster. Because you, my friend, are one of the best. EG starting to defend. Pivno is doing his work as a sniper, really trying to deal with it. That's going to be the bulk of those GBI lads that were on that attack. Very good defense from this EG side. Gobbler's going to be... Stuka, where's he going in?
Right on the 76. There it goes.
76 going down. Very well spotted. I feel like that shows great communication from this GBI side. But that said, I feel like that's probably the end of that push they had. They mixed it up a lot, but they don't seem to have got all the spawn points they needed in because EG have managed to get back and consolidate. I love what I'm seeing here. GBI not taking this match lying down. We're under 50 minutes left to go in this match.
Still look at Eastern Slope. Well, GBI was attacking. We have EG walking in the front door. They're actually in the hard cap now.
That is huge. We're going to see this start to go to EG's way. Skittle's going to be the tanker. They're sitting on, looks like a Tiger they've got in behind. No, that's a Panzer IV. No, it's a Tiger. Good. I don't know my tanks. I don't know my tanks. Oh my God. Artillery taking out the entire GBI spawn wave. That was huge. Whew. 30 Gyro. Boydix for EG. Tiger's going to do a little bit of murder there. T-Max is gonna be missed by the artillery. Flying Doge, Battle Toast. Venus is gonna push in and try and defend, but EG, they've got a presence on Eastern Slope. Both teams putting some genuine pressure. Good Lord, each and every one of you are amazing human beings, and I will never let any of you say anything. I'll never hear anything bad about anybody that's ever watched this channel. You're all amazing. The spawn wave from GBI looks like it's coming in towards the right of your screen. I'm going to assume, does that mean, Kinderek, that they have lost all their spawn points on Eastern Slope itself?
Maybe, or they're just dodging the artillery because they know the artillery is landing on the garrison in their point. They might have called in command chat like, don't spawn on that one, go from the other one.
Yep.
Because the garrison is still here, but it's still on the artifice, so I think that was a good call.
Yeah,
to redeploy to the other garrison.
I think you're absolutely right. And what that's let them do is really establish sort of that sector control out towards the right of your screen. Andreev is going to be the tip of the spear. He's a little squad lead for this EG side. Vice Cop is going to be the rifleman moving down towards the bottom, and he's going to get the best of gravy. Another spawn wave we've just seen. Bear and Flying Doge spawning in onto the point itself. Obviously, they feel a little safer now that artillery's moved on a little bit. Still anybody's point, but I feel like EG still got the upper hand. GBI really pushing out towards the top right of your screen and moving up the hill to try and re-establish some sort of attack. Let's get over to Flak Pits and see what things are looking like there. Exactly what we sort of predicted before, but it looks like EG really dominating over this Flak Pits point. I feel like that was GBI's moment, and that it was dealt with so well by this EG side just shows how good a comp side they are. So well done to each and every one of these lads. Each and every one of them. This is one hell of a game of Hell Let Loose as we come up towards 45 minutes to go in this match of Hell Let Loose.
Yeah, I think EG is in the driver's seat now again. It's just waiting for them to make a move to start pushing over this road into the hard cap. Might sneak a little satchel on this Tiger.
Yep, I completely agree. They sort of what they did before is out towards the top of your screen, sort of looking up the hill from Eastern Slope. They sort of used that area as a bit of a spot to consolidate, put pressure and fire down onto Eastern Slope, and they just waited for some of their flanking squads to get around the side and open up that other front. Once that happened, then they all started moving in, but GBI looks like they are still dealing with it. It is a goddamn scrap of a match at the moment. Woo!
GBI is doing a good job from pushing off the hill, though. They went on the hill a bit further down the south, and now they're just cleaning them up, moving north. So they're doing a good job. If they can manage to keep pushing, they can start push EG out there.
Yep, I agree. I think sort of what's happened is we've seen them switch tactics. They tried the airhead. They got some success, but now what we're seeing is that defensive spawn wave that you were talking about before, when they couldn't spawn on the strong point itself because it was covered by Artie. What it's meant is they're starting to sort of gain more control of that sector up the hill. And I think it's what you've been saying for this entire match cast, is if you control the hill, and if you can push down from there, you can control flak pits. Both teams recognizing it, and this has been damn good play from both sides. Whew. If you're the EG side, do they need to do anything else from here, Kinderek? Or are they just playing exactly what they need to do and putting pressure on? Is there anything you need to see this EG side do?
They just lost the 76 to the precision strike, so that's a bit annoying for them since there's 2 Tigers in the point now. So tank-wise, they cannot do much until the second 76 arrives. I would love them to spend a bit more attention to the hill because it looks a bit clustered. It's a bit of pockets of GBI guys everywhere. I think if they have hill controlled and they don't need to pay as much attention to there as they need to do now, then you have a lot more free manpower to push down from the hill and to actually start contesting that cap.
Yep, I completely agree. And have a look at what Kinderek. Let's move over there and have a look at the hill at the moment. It's exactly what he was saying. Have a look at how scattered this is. It's just red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. No team able to get a strong, foothold in there and really start to exert that control over there. And look, I think that's sort of what we expect from HILL400 as a map. It's what you were saying before about you find that area, you hide behind a tree, you wait for the enemy to come up, you kill them, you try and move forward and get killed by an enemy that was doing exactly the same thing to you. It's an interesting map, and I feel like it's a little different from a lot of the stuff we've seen in these match casts recently from the seasonal Hell Let Loose. So it's good. I like seeing the real different sides. It's a very different map from 4, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's a heavily infantry favorite map, while 4 is a heavily tank and MG favorite map.
Yep.
So Depends what your team's strong points are. I believe GBI is a good tank team. So I guess they will struggle a bit more on hill, but I still think you can do something with your tanks. They have 2 tigers here, so...
They do have 2 tigers. That's going to be Blue V, Richie, and Lycaon in one. Skittle, Centigram, and Pan are going to be in the other tank. So it looks like Lycaon has got himself back into a tank. They are going to try the old double tiger push with the infantry support. Artillery is going to deal with some of that infantry support, though. So both tanks going to push up. They're going to use them as a bit of a sledgehammer to try and open up this EG defense. Try and put some pressure on. If they continue down that road, looks like they're going to go through the front door. Dankus, Cash Cow clinks, Squishy Boo dying as soon as I say his name. One more for the commentators. They're going to be just sort of chilling there, wait until they got support, see if they can deal with this EG push coming out of Flak Pits. But look, EG, they've got the sector control around Flak Pits. They are playing a damn good defensive game now. Interested to see what GBI do to try and crack it open. Icon, the GBI sniper, is in behind. Just doing what recon players do best. Doing what they do best, just causing a bit of a nuisance, being a bit of a thorn in the side, just sort of covering his angles, playing a little bit of Rainbow Six. All he needs to do is kill a couple of people. Just, let them know that they're there. Let them know that they can't sit still and they do need to worry. He should have a shot on Devilfish. I'm wondering whether he gets that one off. Nope, he looks like he's moved away. He has missed that one. The squad lead from EG Valdi is straight in front of him, but I don't think he has the angle on that guy. So let's move away and just let the sniper do sniper things and get back to this Eastern Slope push. EG looks like they have been pushed back. We're not going to see as concerted a push onto Eastern Slope itself, but... the push has been mainly coming straight down the hill now. We've got Noobmaster 60. I'm assuming that's Noobmaster 69 pushing out onto the left. That's one hell of an internet name if I've ever heard one. Orbitix, Germanx, the Sad Demon, and Pivno are going to push up, and they're just putting pressure on. They're really playing that battle line tactic. Putting pressure on this Gary Buster's front line and this GBI front line, and just sort of seeing where they can find a little bit of advantage. No squad leads, though, so we're not going to see any of those offensive OPs. Speaking of which, shall we look at the
this
maps?
tiger push, though. No, go look at these tigers. They're in the convoy, but the 76 is rolling up on that corner now. So I don't know if they can double peek him, double shot him, or whoever gets the first shot. But I think the 76 knows there's a little convoy coming down the road here. So we are about to see 76 speaking it very slowly, already the gun in place on the road. I don't think they can see each other just yet.
This is going to be close. The outcome of this fight could be absolutely huge. Both of these tigers just sort of chilling, moving up, supporting each other. We don't have any EG moving up. What do we got?
Tiger, they're shooting him first. They both got a shot in. One got in the tracks, I think one in the hull. 76 probably needs to run now. Do they have a second angle on him? There's a peace strike coming in for the allies as well, one of these tigers. Here we go. Oh, that was right on the tiger, but it didn't die. What?
The tiger is still alive from that precision strike. That is huge. You guys are lucky and you goddamn know it. Richie's going to get out and try and defend it. You keep an eye on that 76 for me. I've got the Tigers covered here. This is the Tiger convoy trying to move up into Flak Pits. Richie's going to get out and try and get some defensive work on that. Whew.
76 can't repair. There's infantry around him and he knows it. Oh! La Magra takes it down with a rocket.
Huge! Friend of the stream, La Magra, dealing with that 76. Artillery's going to move in there as well. Whew. There you go. That artillery battle is going to go the way of these two Tigers with a little bit of infantry helping them out. That could be huge. Being able to push with two heavy tanks straight through the middle of Flak Pits could be massive for these guys. Bombing run going in! Straight over those tanks!
The bombing run takes out the tank! No way, man.
Bombing run taking out the Tiger? They have one Tiger left. That's going to be Lycaon Blue V's. The other Tiger that they had in support is dead. Lycaon and Blue V's Tiger. It's trying to get backwards. You've got a Tiger behind you. Just chill out, buddy. Relax. That looks like they are down a member as well. So if they get out to repair, they will be a one-man tank crew until that happens. Getting the shots off there. I think that was just a bit of a panicked shot to make sure they didn't have infantry hiding just behind there. That driver
they should be fine. Oh, saying that though, Lolololo has an AT gun on the hill. I don't know if he can shoot down that far, but he's trying to. Oh, he got MG'd. I think he could have killed him. Ah, goodbye.
No more AT gun. This is the Tiger we were talking about. It is on fire. It's using the corpse of its friend as a little bit of support and a little bit of cover. Just trying to stay up there. They don't want to get out. They can't get out. They're just trying to reverse out. We had a little bit of an Austin Powers moment before when they were trying to get it back there. Red Dragon is going to help them out with a bit of support. He's going to start repairing that tank. Please don't run over your own NG.
Don't get run over.
They will never hear the end of that if they
on
do.
the side. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's a repair station being built as well now.
Yeah, huge. Murray Mofo's going to go down. That's going to worry some of these lads, this Red Dragon lad. Tozzy is going to be the assault lad. Bingus is up. Tozzy's going to get brutally matted by a bunch of artillery. I'll tell you what, this EG artillery is on point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Tiger has to feel worried. Artillery is going to miss. Tigers.
The artillery recognizes the Tiger needs to repair, but with artillery landing on his head, he can't really do that, so he's doing a good job.
Richie's got back to his tank. He's going to start repairing it. He's going to get back into the tank, worried about a little bit of artillery. I think the shout out just went to Red Dragon there. Red's just going, get back in your tank. I'll do the reps. It's fine. Pedro and Red Dragon to get the reps onto that tank now. We're going to see that Tiger get back up to full health. This has been a lot of time we've spent looking at Tiger tanks. Let's get back over and have a look at how the points are doing. GBI look like they're pretty happy and pretty consolidated over Eastern Slope. Really starting to just sort of push out and make sure that EG don't have that easy push. Lamagra, friend of the stream, after we saw him kill that 76 before, he's going to push up. Icon the snipers just doing little sneaky sniper stuff as we saw before. GBI look like they're pretty content to really sort of consolidate this infantry push around these two Tigers, and that's what we're looking at in the middle of your screen. Good lord, ladies and gentlemen, with 35 minutes left to go in this match, we still have a match of hell let loose. Early cap we saw from EG over Flak Pits. GBI have not let up and not let them sit back and defend. They're putting a lot of pressure on, but I feel like EG really has had GBI's number in this match. GBI probably struggled to really put up too much of offensive. We saw a good bombing around Airhead, the old Prawn Hub special go through. But it was effective, but EG getting back to defend it. And we have seen some very good pushes from EG. That Tiger's taken another hit.
Yeah, it's taking a hit from a 76, I think, all the way in the back. Between all the trees.
Ready Fishy's going to get out and get some reps on. Hoping to keep this Tiger alive. Don't know whether they can see that 76.
Ah, 76 sees him though.
76 does see him, because that's going to be the end of that Tiger. That's going to be the end of it. They do have the second Tiger up here. Obviously, they'll be having a chat and letting him know where that other 76 was if they saw it. I don't know whether they saw it, but this Tiger
76
is
looking for him as well. I think he sees him. Yeah, here comes the shot zone. Oh, he's just wiggling between the trees, I think. That's a really hard angle for him to hit. There he goes!
Bang! The 76 dealing with those two Tigers. Can you tell me who's manning that Tiger tank, that 76 for me?
It is Mr. Bloody John, Tashonka and Alex. Legends.
Oh, absolute legends.
Doing?
Well played to those lads. I feel like that was the perfect 76 play on here. GBI probably need to rethink what they were doing. I felt like they had a good advantage pushing up with them. They did deal with some of that early pressure and those early tanks before, but running into an absolute wall of that 76. So well played to them. Looks like GBI have to rethink what they're going to do, because it is a bit of a stalemate, exactly as you called it. We're expecting stalemates. GBI pushing up down this left-hand side. Kektis going down. Bingus is going to be tip of the spear, but he does have a lot of these EG lads around him. Terry and who from GBI, who question mark, are sitting in behind. Good lord, ladies and gentlemen. This is a match of hell let loose, but EG really starting to exert some of this dominance over the entirety of this map now.
Yeah, I feel GBI's best chance there was making use of those two Tigers, but with them going down, I don't know what the next play for them will be. Maybe another airhead, but it will be really hard from now on.
Well, yeah, getting that airhead in was absolutely clutch. Like, it was huge for them. So I wonder whether Prawn sits back and goes, all right, that's probably our play. Let's find a way to do that. I think GBI, they're just losing too many gunfights over the middle of this map. They're losing ground when it's pretty much even on players. And it looks like, have a look at that. EG have sort of started to push around their flank. GBI do have Soups No Rules, Kashi, Proceeds of Crime up on that right-hand flank. Looks like Proceeds is going to die, so EG are aware of it, and they're just winning. They're winning crucial battles. Soups is going to be the last one left alive. I don't know what GBI does from here, and I think EG are playing exactly how they need to play. They're winning fights. And they're putting pressure where they need it. They've meant that GBI can never feel safe onto Eastern Slope because ever since they took Flak Pits, straight after that, it has been constant pressure onto Eastern Slope from there. So we'd expect nothing less from such a good team. GBI not letting it go without a fight, but they have a lot of work to do. We just saw a tank explode there. I'm assuming that might have been a...
It's a medium. It was a little American
75?
medium. Yeah. Yeah, you can really see EG's mindset in this game, right? They're like, okay, we can pressure whenever we feel good, but defense has the highest priority of all.
Yep.
Like no gaps nowhere. It gets fixed first, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how they needed to play it, you know? Just realizing it. Look, playing a little bit passively, normally what you'd see is GBI can take advantage of that. But the problem is, every place that they've tried to commit troops to try and take advantage of that passive game style, I think EG's had them covered. Cooked the GBI lad doing a little bit of murder down there. Cafe's going to do the wide squad lead flank off towards the left of your screen. But GBI, they just seem like they're losing too many gunfights. So we're just not seeing that many red berries all across the map. Speaking of the map, let's have a compare. Let's see what both of the spawn points for both of these teams is looking like. EG, exactly as you expected. They've established that line of Garys through the column. They don't have one in the 6 row, but they do have or the 6 or the 5 row. So maybe a little bit of a gap there, but it is well covered by this OP setup. They have a nice little attacking Gary just in the blue zone down towards the south on the F and G line. They're one to the north just to take it out, so they're not going to be able to use that anymore. What's GBI doing with their garrisons?
Ooh. Well, as we said, GG has control over the hill. All the pockets have been cleaned up. There's one little redstone garrison in E5 that's spilling some guys. 2 squad leads spawned on there again. So that might be a possibility for GBI to get into Flak Pit. Other than that, it's like basic frontline, right? They're setting up pretty good. And I think EG is currently winning on gunfights down the hill.
Yep.
So EG is doing good, but this garrison here needs to be taken care of.
Yeah, it doesn't look like EG has seen it. And I think those 2 squad leads are doing exactly what they needed to do. They've seen the garrison, they've spawned on the garrison, and they're pushing off. They need to get anywhere else in the world that isn't that garrison. Because as soon as EG are aware that, it looks like it's red, so it might be being dealt with by this EG side. But those squad leads pushing off, just trying to get themselves elsewhere, trying to find somewhere else for their lads to spawn. Let's get back to the casting screen and have a look at this. GBI is still committing troops down the sort of bottom of the hill towards the north of the map. EG, they are still fighting it, still fighting down that area and still probably winning around there. It seems a lot more even than it was before, so maybe GBI really starting to get the handle on that EG defense. Let's have a look at Eastern Slope. Dude, you're worried, aren't you? Have a look at that build-up. Have a look at those blueberries from EG that are sitting towards the top of your screen. That build-up should concern it. And Prawnhub, the commander, is going to push straight into a couple of those lads. I feel like he might be in a little bit of trouble as soon as he hits the road. Yep,
there he goes.
He's going to get brutally murdered, and he's not going to play any part for the next few seconds. Prawnhub going down. Looks like EG are going to take advantage of that and push across. They aren't being killed. Battle Toaster, Venus are sitting on the right-hand side. Euphoric, let's have a look at Euphoric. He's going to be a bit of a bush Wookie, hiding in the bush. Going to set up the machine gun. He's going to get brutally murdered. Oh, sorry, mate. That is the commentator's curse. Looks like he didn't get set up in time. Jeez, you'd be worried if you're GBI. You're not having any effect anywhere.
Yeah, this A-team squad needs to be handled with. There's a little bit of a gap in the front line here for GBI. A-team is making advantage of that, taking advantage of that. He's crossing the road with his boys now. I think he will be looking to place an OP somewhere in these woods below us.
Yep, really put those spawn points. Those OPs can really help them put that concerted and constant pressure onto Eastern Slope. And have a look at that. It looks like GBI have mainly abandoned... Well, Kector spawning in there is going to help shore it up a little bit. But if EG was to push on now, there is not much of a GBI defense, aside from those guys that you can see up the hill. But if they can force those guys up the hill that are currently dying to turn and move back into Eastern Slope, EG know that they've got the players that are further up the hill that can sweep down as well. This is a huge play, and we're seeing some great commanding from this EG commander. Magnet is going to be the commander for EG. I feel like I haven't said his name enough for somebody who's such a clutch role in Hell Let Loose. But look, a little bit of a stalemate. Just whilst we see EG pushing out this sector control towards the right of your screen. I don't know where this match goes from here, but we have less than half an hour to go left in this fight. These GBI lads, I feel like they probably need to do something in the last 17 minutes, because if EG decides to park the bus on Flak Pits and pull all their lads back on defense, obviously that's going to be a much tougher fight. If EG think they can still take Eastern Slopes, they have more lads on offense, and it's going to give these obviously Skeleton Crew GBI offensive teams the ability to get in and really just sort of probe, find gaps, find weaknesses. Tozzy, Squishy Boo and Mary Mofo doing some work there. Dorka, Ray, Max the Bruce, Jojo are going to be the EG defenders, and Murray Mofo doing a little bit of murder there. PS3 Wireless is going to be the sniper pushing up. Squishy Boo has going to bring his machine gun. Wireless going down. Max the Bruce is going to be the last machine gunner left alive for this EG defense. Go, 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 number 5 is pushing up. Proceeds to Crane and Blue V. Blue V back out of the tank. Obviously, they might be a little short on resources. Probably should have left that in the map compare. That's something I didn't do, but hey, you win some, you lose some.
Evan, he's found his way to the Tiger again. There's some infantry around it to defend, though. Might get one rocket in. Yeah, there we go.
One rocket into the Tiger. The Tiger's obviously going to be a little bit worried by that.
And he gets instantly popped. Yeah, as I said, there's a few guys waiting. But this Tiger is not having a comfortable time here sitting.
No, it's not. It got that one rocket in behind, immediately did a 180 to try and deal with that. It's not happy. It does have infantry in support, though, so hopefully he takes a little bit of solace in that. Knows that he can push out this GBI line. They're starting to push up through this right-hand side of Eastern Slope now. It looks like they've mainly dealt with that EG push that was pushing into that wooded area. Larua is going to be the EG spotter, who is nice and deep into the woods. Big spawn wave we've just seen from that OP. Kectus going to go down to the A team. That said, I said they dealt with it, but they have absolutely not. That is far more lads than GBI wants in their backlines. They have massively taken control of this right-hand flank for this GBI team. Well played to EG. They're playing a great brand of Hell Let Loose. Venus Ritchie are going to sit just behind. Lycaon's in there as a rifleman as well. They're going to push in and see whether they can retake this wooded area that we keep banging on about. That's just towards the right of Eastern Slope. Looks like T-Max. Euphoric is in behind as well. Just trying to push up and get some area. Pivno Pivo. That's one hell of a weird name. I don't even know what it means. And XYU are going to be the last ones from EG left alive. You'd assume Kectus is probably, if he hasn't already, he is going to take out that OP. I can't find the OP because it is the woods. Kectus is going to go down before he has any more effect on this game. Well played, Euphoric. I'm glad I didn't switch over to him because as a machine gunner, he just got brutally murdered as well. T-Max is the spotter. Yogi Bear is going to push up there as well. Pivno's going to be able to deal with T-Max. XYU's up in support as well, so Yugi's in a 2v1. EG starting to contest Eastern Slopes. GBI in a world of trouble at the moment. GBI just have the one lad, Cook, sitting on point. Terry and who? Question mark. Gonna be brutally dealt with. The A team's going to keep pushing back up. Bingus Kectus just spawned in. Ooh, what are you looking at the moment, Mr. Kinderic?
Well, what I'm seeing is that EG is already trying to call the park the bus a bit because there's 276 stacking on their defense point now. And I am predicting that they will not really move in the last few 23 minutes.
I guess that's right. Yeah. They
need
know
to
they
deal
have...
with this.
Yeah, they know
Somehow.
they have the armor superiority because they have been taking out. They know they've taken down a bunch of Tigers in recent memory. So I feel like that's a fairly safe bet for them. We're just under 25 minutes left to go in this match, so still a lot to play. GBI still have a lot of play left in them, but EG, I feel like, as you called it before, they're in the driver's seat. Good lord.
Yeah, and they decide to take it slow and steady, which is, I think, the best call for them.
Yep.
Because 3-2 is more than enough.
Yeah, 3-2 still a win. Points don't matter in seasonal because it is a knockout competition. That said, this is the lower bracket final. So it is worth remembering that because of disqualification that we had, it does mean that this is not a knockout match, which is unprecedented in seasonal history. This match is the lower bracket final, and this will be purely for seeding purposes. The winner will go through as a higher seed. The loser will be a lower seed. So just sort of playing to see who they're going to be playing next week. And I think the loser does play a game next week, whereas the winner gets a week off. If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so too, yeah.
I do get these things all wrong a lot. And that's why I have you along, Kinderek. Because you know what you're talking about, where I clearly just talk shit a lot. Have a look at that. Can I get you to just have a look at that GBI push up on top of the hill? I'm going to sit my camera over Eastern Slope and just sort of see what this Eastern group team is going to be able to do on Eastern Slope. Oh, that's a mouthful. Try and say that 10 times really quick. Pedro is up in support. What have you got up the top of that hill, my friend?
Oh, we have Bear, Cactus, and Gandalf with their squads trying to take over here again. So EG has some work to clean out his pockets again. Yeah, there's some OPs, there's some garrisons around for GBI on the hill. They're trying to contest it because you needed to push flag pits. But they still have a very long way to go. See Bear with the squad here. Oh, nice headshot there.
Ooh,
RT giving them some love as well.
Delicious.
Yeah,
It is worth remembering that when we look at Kinderek's screen like we are, the blueberries will be the GBI side. When we look at my screen, when we flip back to that, the blueberries will be the EG side. So just keep that in mind as you're watching. I'm going to flick back to me. We're going to have a look at the south. It is still the same lads from GBI, really trying to grind out the bottom and the north of Flat Pits. It does look like they may have gained a little bit of ground, but I feel like HILL400 is a map that does that a lot. You'll gain ground, but then you'll lose a bunch more. It's backwards and forwards, each team trying to find a spot where they can dig in and defend against the next counter-attack. Tozzy, number 99, going down there. Proceeds of Crime is going to be tip of the spear with Dankus on his right flank. Really well defended. Murray Mofo, we know him, we love him. He's going to go down as well. EG really concentrating on defense down this right-hand side. And it looks like GBI, as we fly back over to Eastern Slope, GBI are going to try and control it a little bit more. I think that's mainly because they've managed to push back this Eastern Group. Eastern Group? I am saying that right. It is Eastern Group. EG. This EG battle line, they have managed to push it back, but it is still gunfights. And they don't have any concerted push to be able to really back that one up. Let's get back up and have a look at the top of the hill. Looks like this is where the majority of these GBI attacks are coming from. We're seeing a lot of AT players. And Cactus, the squad lead, is the furthest forward, and he is right around the back of Flag Pits.
Yeah, it seems like Cactus wants to rotate around and places OP right in the strong point. I think that's what he's doing. Trying the other way. A new approach. For now, he doesn't meet anyone. Goblia and Sheriff will be the first ones.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly...
we'll see when he gets there.
I think that's exactly what he needs to do, is sort of hold fire. He's not looking to get kills. He's not a pub player.
Oh, that's an airhead.
Ooh, who's the airhead from?
GBI. They're trying it again.
Airhead. Are they putting it in the same place? No.
No, it's a bit close to the point now. But Goblia is... I think he knows. Yeah, he knows.
Goblia is so right underneath that one.
This needs some love from the artillery.
Bingus was getting down to try and deal with that one. Tom Wanks needs a lot of ground to cover to try and get that. Goblia looks like he is absolutely all over this airhead. It's going to need a little more support than he's getting. Cactus, yeah, I don't think that's going to be an effective airhead unless this bombing run manages to, which I can hear coming in now, manages to clean up all of this EG, lads. That's a pub special, that is. In the bombing run airhead. Airhead's down.
Oh, the strafing run.
Oh, strafing run's going to miss.
He was hiding behind the tree for the strafing run. He knew. Airhead goes down.
There you go. Airhead down. Strafing run was ineffective.
It's a bit too late.
Too late for that bombing
run.
No. Looks like that bombing run was probably trying to clean up the garrisons and allow that airhead a little more time to push. We're under 20 minutes left in this match of Hell Let Loose, ladies and gentlemen. Good lord, it's EG versus GBI. EG had a nice early cap on Flak Pits, and they've held it ever since. They have put a lot of pressure on Eastern Slope. GBI, however, still trying to find their way in. Cactus, that squad we were talking about before, is going to get brutally murdered and dealt with by this EG side. Tom Wank's Icon Gusket. I feel like they probably need to be a bit closer to try and defend that airhead, but that's all right. Better late than never. Well, not for the airhead, but for this push that GBI has around the back. Spawn wave going in. That could be huge. They're going to take down HYWS, but he surely would have seen that large amount of GBI lads spawning here. If they can get a Gary down there, Cactus looks like he's just going to sprint away from that OP to try and put a bit of ground between him and where the enemy knows he is. So that's well played. JP Sowers up towards the south. B's going to get brutally murdered as soon as I say his name. Look at that. GBI putting a good amount of pressure on Flak Pits, but I'll tell you what, Kinderek. This is exactly what you want to see from EG, isn't it? They're not panicking. They're just letting their defensive squads do their work. They know that they've got lads behind, but they're pushing out, seeing whether they can gain a little bit of sector control and seeing whether they can get a handle on this GBI push that's coming from behind. Look, if they do go down... Yep, go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, I think EG, they're doing great. They're holding it off. But I think also when this does get a bit much extreme for them with a lot of people here, I don't think they will be too afraid to pull the break quite early and get some more guys here, because it does seem GBI is winning out on these gunfights now in the north.
Yeah, it does. That said, there are still a few GBI lads going down. The Sheriff knows his business. HYWS Sheriff going down then. Cactus is still pushing around, trying to find another good angle for this spawn point he can put down. But yeah, I think you're right. They'll know that where their lads are sitting, that they have a good amount of sector control. They have a handle on this GBI thing, so they're not panicking. They still have time if they need to put down that to push that panic button, ask for more squads to redeploy back. Good lord, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining us now, we're coming up towards the pointy end of this game. EG versus GBI. GBI still trying to get into the middle point Flak Pits. One hell of a hard point to take. But that said, EG, they're doing a damn good job at defending it. Let's get back over to Eastern Slope and see what sort of assault EG have. We're sort of getting up towards that point where you kind of expect EG to start defending really deep, wouldn't you? Do you get under that 10-minute point and you start, as a commander, considering dragging some of your lads back? You know what? As somebody who doesn't command, but...
the last 15 minutes is mostly... Every game is the same. The guys who needs to attack, in this case GBI, will start taking more and more risks. And EG will probably start parking the bus inside their midpoint.
Good lord. I'll tell you what, we've just seen Mr. Snitsy on in the chat. How many of your lads that hang around your stream are playing today? Get around them, get around each one of them, because I guarantee if they're hanging around your stream, they're probably just awesome human beings. Just saying, you'll hear this in 30 minutes time, and I will not be able to keep up with it in chat. 15 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this match. GBI, they're doing everything they can to get into Flak Pits. EG, though, look at this sector control. They're just getting lads out to try and deal with this. What do you got, my friend?
I think the OP from, I think it was Cactus OP, just got wiped here. And the squad lead is also dead, so just push from the north from GBI. If these guys die, it will be the last ones. Because Cactus needs to find a garrison to get to.
Good point.
Really unlucky for them.
What do you say we look at a little bit of map action and just see what the last 15 minutes are going to be? It looks like EG very defensive with their garrisons. They don't have any attacking garrisons, anything past the F column, but have a look at that. Nothing on Flak Pits itself, but that's sort of expected, I think, from a comp team. They can't, with their garrison placement as they've got it. They've got that sector control garrison in a triangle around Flak Pits, and they do have one just controlling that hill area to the south, and they've got a defensive Gary around Bergstein Church there. What are we looking at for GBI, my friend?
GBI making a solid circle around the hill into Flak Pits. They still have a really long way to go, probably 2 sectors for each squad to cross. Garrison-wise, they are just... it's pretty standard. On their side, it is pretty good. But they don't have really a garrison that threats Flak Pits at the moment, so that's their main issue. Because they need to get there in these coming 15 minutes. Yeah. It will be a long run for them.
It will be. And I think, look, they do, 15 minutes can be a long time in Hell Let Loose. But that's 15 minutes they've got to take that sector control around the hill, which is just towards the north of where Kanderic was pointing out the garrisons there. If they can take that area, they can reset their Garys and have push onto Flak Pits itself. But that is a long way to go, and that is still a lot of fight. So we might be running out of time here. Interested to see how this one goes. There is still a lot of Hell Let Loose left to play, but have a look at that as we get back there. EG. Very good sector control around the point itself. And are those 276s still sitting on point, my friend?
One is, yeah, now they're starting to push out a little bit more. There's 376s actually right now. There's two on this road and one still in the point chilling. With 376s, you really need to do something about it because I don't see them capping if these guys are still alive.
No. No, I wonder, do they... Look, they are pushing out from the point. I don't know whether they need to. With under 13 minutes left in the match, I wonder whether the play would be to really set those 76ers up defensive. You know that... Look, they absolutely know that they've had the armor advantage over this GBI side for most of the match. So, look, GBI probably, they're going to have an infantry push is going to be the biggest threat that they're going to have onto flak pits. So with those 376s, that is a lot for infantry to deal with. So I wonder whether they don't need to push out. That said, if they can push out and push some pressure on Eastern Slope, they will have less to deal with. So, I don't know, interesting to see how this one plays out. Who the hell am I to question what these commanders are doing? They're all damn good. They're all damn good commanders. You're all amazing. I will never say a bad thing about you. Whew.
That being said, they're starting to reverse back in the point again. So I think they decided to get back there and wait for the defense. So there's a little convoy backing up here. No one threatening them. I don't see any tigers on the map as well who can kill these guys. So it needs to be purely infantry with satchels.
Yeah. And I feel like sort of the dominance that we've seen EG have over the middle of this map, I can't see this GBI team getting up and dealing with it. That said,
well, I think their only play will be waiting for that last airhead. I don't remember what timestamp the previous airhead was thrown at, but there's 10 minutes cooldown on there. I think you can still do that. To save your ammo, save your manpower, and do one last desperate push with that. I think that's your only plan you have.
Yeah, I completely agree. But look, they're doing a good job now by really pushing out that front line. This is probably the most ground away from Eastern Slope that GBI has had for most of the match. So concerted effort to really try and push up there. If they can do that, put pressure on the front, that airhead will be more effective wherever the commander, who is prawn hub for this GBI side, wherever he decides to put it down. Have a look at those lads sweeping up around the right-hand side. Tozzy and Murray are out on the right now. This is better play. We're starting to see GBI win some of these gunfights through the middle. I do wonder, though, whether that's partly because they're winning gunfights, or it could be EG. EG are just sort of pulling back and just starting to defend a little deeper as we come up towards the 10-minute mark in this match. Woo!
Yeah, you can see GBI really centering up a bit. Like, their forces are a bit more next to each other. They're trying to do a little spearhead in the middle here on the hill, and they're making a lot of progress. So EG needs to also squeeze their forces a really bit more to try to defend this. And this is what you see usually, right? In the last 15 minutes, people are clustered up together because there's only one hard cap and 4 sectors to fight over. There's no point in being on the white flank in the last 5 minutes.
We are seeing GBI. We're seeing GBI really come to terms with this top of the hill. There are a lot of EG lads in there. But look, whilst they're dealing with lads coming from around their flank, it does mean that the GBI left flank as they push into point is a little more protected than it has been for the entirety of this game. Still a hell of a lot of fight left to go. Under 10 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. I still wouldn't call it. I think EG still has the advantage, as they have for most of this game. But GBI is starting to put some real pressure onto flak pits now. Interested to see what the play is from here for both of these sides. We knew we were getting a good match of Hell Let Loose, didn't we? But I'm constantly surprised by the standard of competition in this seasonal tournament. I can't say enough good things about him. Welcome to anybody else that's joining us. This is the pointy end. Under 10 minutes left to go. Oh, Kinderic, what a match, my friend.
Yep, it's definitely one of the most fun Hell Let Loose matches I've seen. Or HILL400 matches, sorry. Both teams are really trying, and they know the stakes because they probably don't want to play one extra game next week, so...
Yep. Give their comp team that sort of breather. Maybe play friendly if they get the chance with the week off. Just sort of have that ability to train up. Maybe try a few more tactics rather than to be straight back into the comp scene and another knockout match the week after. It's EG, they're doing really well to defend this. GBI pushing sort of this top of the hill. EG look like they have identified this as an area they do need to deal with. So they do have a lot of lads sort of sitting on the top of the hill and just waiting for those GBI red berries to move up towards them. No pressure onto Flak Pits itself at the moment, but we might start to see that fairly shortly because Euphoric, the man with the legend. Let's just switch over and have a look at what he's looking at. He's a little bit blurry. You have to excuse some of these points of view. He's going to set up the machine gun, just get a little bit of fire down on. Nope, he's going to push on, and he's going to come straight up against Devilfish. Devilfish is right up on top of him. Lucky One is just around there as well. He's going to hit fire the machine gun. He knows he's surrounded, surely. Euphoric going to take down Lucky One with the hit fire machine gun. Well played to him. Euphoric's going to keep running. Oh, does he see him?
Oh, to the knife angle. Nope.
There we go. Devilfish dealing with our friend Euphoric. Well played to that lad. We know he's a Chad. We know he can play some goddamn hell let loose. Doing a little bit of work there, but copping one back in return and in retaliation. Let's have a look at this. This is what we keep saying, but have a look at the distance between that GBI frontline and Flak Pits. We're coming up to 7 minutes left in this match. There is a lot of ground left to cover and a lot of distance for this GBI to cross before they're able to put pressure on the Flak Pits. EG, we're under 7 minutes left, and they've not pushed the panic button. They know they just need to hold out this sector control. They don't need to panic, and I think this has been a great game played from this Russian side.
EG recognized they needed to shut down the main front door, and they've done that. They have deployed more forces on the hill, and GBI is actually being pushed back downwards, I think. Yeah. EG is winning the gunfights at the moment and starting to push back a bit. So I think that's really what was needed for GBI to get back on that hill, but with them being pushed down with 6 minutes to go, I don't know. Where's the airhead? That's my question.
I know. And I know you are constantly looking at your map to make sure we don't miss that airhead. Good Lord. GBI, they're playing well, but I really like this composure from this EZ side. They just haven't panicked. They've identified, as you called it, exactly as you called it, Kinderek. They've identified that they need to hold their hill above Flak Pits. They've pushed more forces up towards the top of the hill. Just hold their composure, hold their battle line. No need to panic. No need to sit people back nice and deep. They're just reacting to this GBI push, and I think they're reacting to it very well. So, look, all credit to GBI. They're putting a great push on, but this EG defense, I think, still might be a little too much for them. That said, have a look at Pan. The auto rifle. He's got him behind. Gandalf the White, the squad lead, is in behind as well. Does look like Velde, Gobbler, Devilfish are going to be a little bit of defense. GBI the Moe, he's going to be the recon spotter coming up against Devilfish again. Good Lord, that man is everywhere. Gobbler going down. The Moe is going to brutally murder Devilfish as well, so well played to him. That'll cause this EG side a little bit of concern. Something just blew up in the middle. I didn't quite see what that was.
It was a repair station.
The old
Nothing
repair
too
station.
interesting.
Oh, I do. I go every time I see that big red fireball explosion, I go, who just killed what? What's going on? No, just a repair station. Yeah. Don't need to worry about it.
Pan goes down.
What are you going to do? That was a good push from him. That'll cause this...
that's the airhead. Here it comes.
Deep airhead on Flak Pits. I feel like he thought it might have had a little more cover than it did. It's going to be on Gandalf and the Moe to try and get back and defend that one. Do we see the bombing, the old Prawn Hub special, the bombing rod airhead go and cover this one? What is it?
Bombing rod coming down as well. They know though, and that's 76 coming as well. So we'll see if I hope the airhead gets spawn wave stuffs. 76 has a lot of trees he needs to look through. So Goblia and Litvin are running towards his airhead though. I don't know if the bombing gun will kill them.
And they've still got Andreev and Max the Brew sitting in support as well. All of them are just sort of sitting off that ahead. Bombing run going through. It's going to miss Litvin. Gobbler is going to miss as well. Numazon's going to get brutally murdered. Not by the airhead, but now they're going to get in and deal with that airhead.
Coming down. That's the only way. Nades are already being thrown, I think. Yep. Boop. And that's the airhead.
No more airhead. It's Hozzy and Murray almost got in there. Murray is the squad lead, so he might be able to push on that. But that airhead has dragged a lot of these EG lads around. And we're seeing spawn waves. We're seeing this point. Yeah. We're seeing the next point, Eastern Slope, be capped by EG. So I'm just going to switch over and have a look at that. Whilst GBI have got lads in a point.
Look at Eastern. There's no defense. They overcommitted on the Flak Pits.
They did.
Now the airhead is landing for EG.
That's going to be an EG airhead. I think with that airhead and the lads that they have on the point there, I think that's going to be game over. That's going to be the Eastern Slope captured by EG. You know what? Credit to GBI because they did put lots of lads on the offense. They started to contest the flak pits. The Flying Doge, I don't think he knows how many lads he's got to kill to take back this strong point. Looks like they are defending it. GBI defending. And
yeah, but the airhead is still alive, no?
let's have a look. Airhead is still alive. So
There
we're
you
gonna see a spawn wave, massive spawn wave from EG going in there. It looks like somehow I don't quite understand how GBI are defending this, but they are capping flak pits as well. We're coming up. Yeah, they're capping flak pits.
Oh, might
it's
get interesting in the
contested.
end.
This is a massive end to this match. I'll tell you what, though, EG have a lot of lads sitting on there, and they are defending flak pits. It's a cap race at the end, but it looks like EG still have the better of it. Can I get you to sit over flak pits? We'll get your camera deal with what's happening over there, whilst mine will look at what's happening on the Eastern Slope. Let's have a look over there. This is the red berries we're looking at here are the EG team. The blueberries will be the GBI team. It looks like EG have managed to clean up most of that attack that was happening on flak pits. So disappointing, like massive Hail Mary there from this GBI side. I think they'll count themselves a little unlucky. Let's get over flak pits and have a look at, get over Eastern Slope and have a look at what's happening on this fight. This is a huge end to this match. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen. I had no idea this was going to be this close a match. It's going to go 3-2. It's just a question of who's going to own which point at the end. I think that is going to be a 3-2 going EG's way. We're under 2 minutes left, so I don't think GBI have enough time to cap. Precision Strike's
there's no
going
time
in.
for both teams anymore. Yeah, you saw both teams taking the more risk in the end, especially GBI, but they got pressured on their own point net to reset.
Yeah,
It's a classic you see in the end on most seasonal matches. The overcommitment on the midpoint, because why not? You need to. So I don't blame them at all for leaving their defense. They tried.
But yeah, EG really picking that moment to push through onto Eastern Slope. And like that consolidation we saw from EG around there really sealed the deal. It meant that GBI, they couldn't lose 4-1, could they? They got back, defended. Now they're just playing for pride. Venus is out, friend of the stream, Venus, and damn good supporter of this channel. Sitting in the middle there. She's going to come up against Ketnets. Who's just sort of chilling behind the point there. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 3-2 win to EG. 3-2 win to EG. I'll get my stuff right eventually. Ketnes just going to chill there. Doesn't need to affect his KD anymore. Good Lord, ladies and gentlemen. That was a cracker of a match. So what we're going to do after this, after we see the victory screen for EG, we're going to get through. I'm going to scroll through some scores, and then we're going to do a little bit of post-match analysis. Obviously, we have to have a celebratory shoey for this EG side, and a commiseration shoey for this GBI side. That's one shoey for both. Don't get too excited. There we go. Victory to EG confirmed over GBI. Let me get through the scores for you and just show you what's going on. We're going to give our commend to Litvin. Why? Because he's the first name that I thought of when I said that. Scrolling through. There we go. Let's get through this GBI side, just in case you guys are watching it later. And Kinderek, get your face on, mate, because we're going to do a little bit of post-match analysis.
Let's go.
Oh, mate. What a goddamn match of Hell Let Loose. Did you have fun?
I had fun. Yeah, it was a good HILL400 match. I think both teams really tried their best. Even though we didn't see any cap flips, still was quite entertaining to watch.
Yeah, we saw them be contested and we saw good pressure onto both sides. We saw both sides doing super well. I really enjoyed that. EG, they're a good team and we've seen them do great things this seasonal. I'm looking forward to seeing them in seasonals. But I'm going to take nothing away from this GBI side. I've enjoyed watching them. I've had the honour of casting a lot of their matches. It's been great fun. Both of them into finals. Kinderek, I hope you enjoyed yourself, man. It's there's a little something. There's a little something we do around here. Now, this is an item of footwear. It's technically a gumboot. What are you going to do?
You mean this?
No. No, you're not. We're not going to see a Kinderek shoey, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Come on! Get around it, lads! All right. start pouring. I'll get mine into it, and you know exactly what to say when you're ready to drink, my friend.
I don't have any beer left, so that's a bit awkward, but we'll use this. It's fine.
Yeah, that works. That works. It still counts. This is a celebratory shoey for the EG team, a commiseration shoey.
It's leaking.
No, drink quicker. Welcome to Australia, cunts.
Welcome to Australia, cunts. I might have needed to remove my phone from that because it's leaking a bit now.
Good Lord. Also, can I, as a shoey connoisseur, never use sports shoes. Never.
Yeah,
it adds too much flavor. Also, I just want to say this match went out to our friends over at GBI, Red Dragon and Red Dragon Jr. I'm having a bit of a hard time of it at the moment, so this one goes out to them. That shoey was for you, lads. So, Derek, thank you very much for joining us, my friend.
No problem. I had fun. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for giving me the DC versions of the logos. For those of you that were early, we did use the. Dude, I see that goddamn. I see that green mouse in my dreams now. I swear, it's everywhere. Thank you very much for joining us. It has been a goddamn pleasure. Obviously, make sure you go watch. King Derek is one hell of a matchcaster himself. Make sure you're watching literally anything that he does. Literally anything. Just saying. So to recap, that was EG versus GBI. EG coming away with the 3-2 win after they took flak pits nice and early and just never gave it up. We saw some good pressure from GBI. We saw some massive flanks. We saw some huge hell let loose. But that's the way seasonal works. Both of these teams through to finals next week. So make sure you follow along. Make sure you catch them. And you know what? Just watch some seasonal hell let loose because it's the best competition in the world. Now, we're going to say goodbye. I guarantee we'll go raid somebody. Hopefully there's another seasonal match I can raid. If there's not, I'll find somebody in the Hell Let Loose community. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we finish every cast here by saying, look after yourselves. If you can manage to do that, see if you can't look after somebody else too. I'll see you next match. And you know what? I'm going to goddamn look forward to it. Bye, kids.